Yeah, hi. I'm talking to you today in Oaxaca, Mexico, about my first essay that I just published last week. And what was my strongest idea, or my point? What was the biggest point of the essay? That's the assignment this week. That's the assignment that we have. I guess my point is the media and the military work together to achieve foreign policy objectives in the aftermath of September 11th. Foreign policy objectives that existed prior to the terrorist attacks, but which were unattainable and unpursuable without an excuse. And 9/11, of course, provided a perfect excuse to um, invade first Afghanistan within a month, and then within 2 years, 2.5 years, Iraq as well, all under the pretense that both of those countries were somehow responsible um, for the carnage and murder that took place on September 11th. I'm basically trying to show what I believe is true about um, cooperation that takes place nowadays between the military and the corporate-owned media, and the reason why that isn't able to take place is that the press is not owned by people like myself, like people watching this vlog. Generally, the people that own the big networks are extremely powerful, extremely well, uh, heavily invested, massively diverse investment portfolios, and a huge chunk of all of those investment portfolios have to do with sales of armaments, and there's always a lot of money to be made uh, through the sales of war goods, in addition to energy, which was a huge component in the Iraq War, as almost everybody knows. Oil companies and contracting services that work for oil companies profited tremendously um, in the aftermath of the quote-unquote liberation of the Iraqi people. So my point is that I can't trust the networks. You know, they don't report the news. They talk about who is cohabitating with whom. They talk about which movie is going to knock out Beverly Hills Chihuahua for #1 spot. And they promote the ideas and the interests of A, corporations, and B, the governments that are essentially enslaved by those corporations. Um, so yeah, that was my experience. I was 14 years old, and I knew from that age and from that event and from the aftermath of that event that I couldn't believe what was coming out of the mouths of the reporters, that they essentially were, you know, liars, and getting paid very well to be such. I know this is a harsh judgment upon the media, and that maybe a lot of people think this is extreme, but that was my experience. So take it with a grain of salt, just like I do. Take care.